From Minneapolis South High School, we proudly present the 2017 Twin Cities Girls Basketball Championship. Minneapolis South hosts this event for the first time in 6 years, and they take on a St. Paul Como Park team that has qualified for this event for 3 years in a row. The excitement starts in a moment. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by Crystal Flint, the head coach of the Minneapolis North girls basketball team. But Crystal knows both sides of this matchup, having played Como earlier this year and having a couple of close ones with South. What can we expect from these two teams?
I expect this game to be very physical. Both teams are going to get out and get running. It's going to be a little banging inside. Good guard play, good pressure defense. It's going to be an enjoyable game.
Such is the case with these Twin Cities games, because even though the section seeding has been decided and everyone is going for that state tournament title, there are some bragging rights on the line here.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the Twin Cities game is a great leeway into the section games, and it's bragging rights for the city. So, you know, Minneapolis is going to cheer for Minneapolis, and St. Paul is going to come over and cheer for St. Paul. So it's a good rivalry.
And speaking of Minneapolis, in this case Minneapolis South, undefeated in conference play this year. You gave them a couple of good runs. Morgan Hill and Jade Hill are the focal points for the South team, and folks like Arian Kelly and Kiani Lockett have stepped up nicely this year.
Oh yeah, they got a nice young team. Believe a majority of their girls are going to be back. So, as is Como. I mean, Como, top 3-4 scorers will return to Como. So, safe to say that both teams are secure again for next year.
So we could see these two teams again, although Crystal might have something to say about that a year from now.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look, you know, our JV team just won the Twin Cities for the second year in a row. And I expect for some of those girls to get some varsity minutes next year. So we're going to be looking okay, too.
And speaking of Como Park, you mentioned a lot of their scorers will be back next year, and they include Michaela Van Nett, who's among the state leaders in three-point field goals, Elena Jones, who's coming off her breakout performance, 32 points and 16 rebounds in the win over Cromwell Wright. And don't count out Autumn Tucker. She can knock down some threes as well.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the things that they were able to do against us. They shot extremely well from the three-point line. And we ended up losing to Como by 2 in overtime. And then we lost to South by 1 in overtime. So they both pushed us to our limits, or we pushed them to their limits. So
we'll get to our duties in a moment. You're watching high school girls basketball. And welcome back to South High School. Let's take a look at the starting five. For the visiting Como Park Cougars, it's their usual group, so you'll see Asia Shepard, number 1, the senior forward. Rain Adams, number 11, the junior guard. Autumn Tucker, number 12, the junior guard. Michaela Van Nett, number 23, a junior guard. And Elena Jones, number 24, the sophomore center. Minneapolis South will start Jade Hill, number 4, the 8th grade guard. Solana Cushing, number 5, the sophomore guard. Rose Lutz, number 15, the senior forward. Kiani Lockett, number 22, the 7th grade guard. And number 24, Morgan Hill, the junior guard.
Number 4, Jade Hill. Starting at guard, right-hand sophomore. Number 5, Solana Cushing. Starting at forward, 5'11" senior. Number 15, Rose Lutz. Starting at guard, 5'7" senior. Number 22.
And as we get our notes in order, as we noted, this is the first time South has participated in the Twin Cities Championship since 2011. They came close to playing last year, but they ended up in a tie with Minneapolis Southwest. And the Lakers had the longer drought, so they got the nod. Como Park won that one, 91-89. And in fact, the Twin Cities game has been very friendly to the Cougars. This is their third year. Their previous two trips to the Twin Cities game resulted in wins, and both were close ones. In 2015, they beat Minneapolis Washburn in overtime. Last year, they sweat out a close one with Minneapolis Southwest. A solid crowd on hand for this one, as is the case with Twin Cities games because of the river rivalry. Of course, if you go way back to 2007 with South and Central, I don't know if you went to that game, but it was a sold-out crowd here at Minneapolis South.
I think I did. Was it at Central?
2007 was here.
It was here.
Minneapolis hosts in odd-numbered years.
I may have. I was officiating back then, so there's no telling, if I was. I've never officiated a Twin Cities game, but I attended a few of them. I remember attending one at St. Paul Central, but that may have been when Angel Robinson was playing. So
that was when Angel was playing.
Yeah.
She's not playing today, though. But we have plenty of fine athletes on hand. Como wins the tip. The seedings came out last night, as you heard in the open. Como, the number 2 seed in Section 4, 3A. Matamidi, the 1 seed. There's Autumn Tucker for 3.
This is going to be a battle of the boards, too. So I really think that whoever controls the boards is going to be most successful, as well as whoever takes care of the ball.
Lockett, the touch pass to Lutz. She can't get the bounce.
Yeah, you got to make those, when you get those opportunities to make those layups, you got to make them.
I saw an example of that last night when White Bear Lake fell to Roseville. Well, there's Morgan Hill converting a layup, and she does that extremely well.
Oh yeah, that sister connection really works well for South High School, and they look for each other. So it was a nice assist by Jade to her sister Morgan.
Jones to Rain Adams, comes up short, gets her own rebound, dishes it off. Van Nett for 3. Yes.
Oh yeah, can't let her get going.
Van Nett will not threaten Suzanne Gilreath's 3-point mark for the season this year, but that is her 80th triple of the year. And a traveling violation on Kiani Lockett.
Yeah, she got a little bump there that may have caused that travel, but she's gonna have to play through the contact. I know she's a 7th grader, but she's gonna have to absorb that contact so that foot doesn't move. Oh.
Van Nett pulls off the reverse.
She got that rebound back, so.
Do you think she did that intentionally?
No.
Miss
no.
and then get your own putback.
That's called the old patent stats. But
hey, gets you closer to double-double.
Yeah.
Como on the steal. It's Autumn Tucker who will shoot 2. Autumn Tucker, a half-sister, as I understand it, to Suzanne Gilreath, who is in her freshman season at Wisconsin, and unsurprisingly is breaking 3-point records there.
Oh yeah, she went on to also break the record at Wisconsin, and that's just an awesome accomplishment for a first-year college student.
Autumn Tucker averaging 13 points a game. 63 pointers this year, makes 1 of 2. And Como with the 6-2 lead. Cushing for 3. Yes!
Cushing is another one that can fill up that 3-point line quickly. So both teams can score at will on the perimeter.
Van Nett certainly can, but she can't hit the 3 there. And the rebound goes to Lutz. Here comes Jade Hill, the 8th grader. Cushing to Morgan Hill. She's in trouble, finds Lockett, open for 3. Off the heel. Lockett had a pretty solid game against Stillwater, scoring 10 points in that one, and I have to imagine when she hits her growth spurt, she's going to be even more ferocious.
Oh, yeah. She has long arms, long legs. What I really like about Lockett is that she is fearless. You know, as a 7th grader, she's been thrown into fire here, and she's handled it quite nicely.
I've joked that she looks like she's 10 years old out there. With Emil Jihad, the South head coach, saying, looks like 62 pounds with water weights on her. But again, she has to grow into her body.
Yes, she does. And she's going to be fine. She's going to be fine.
And a few folks who could relay their experience, Andrea Adams started her varsity career in 7th grade over at Minneapolis Edison. Tucker trying to go high-low with Jones. That combination worked out well, and they win over Cromwell Wright, but not there. Van Nett going for the steal, and Jade Hill tripped from behind.
Had a little obstruction there. I couldn't even see that, but
Part of a long list of games taking place at Minneapolis South. They moved the start time up to noon because the South boys team is hosting Edina tonight.
Oh, nice. I know the boys are finishing up a little bit later. Twin Cities boys game is going to be on next week.
Minneapolis North and I believe St. Paul Central.
Yes.
St. Paul a little down this year, but you never know in those Twin Cities games. You run into a bad day and you can get a big win. And St. Paul Central has racked up a few big wins over the last few games. But as I understand, if Highland Park can at least force a tie, they would get to the Twin Cities game.
Oh, really?
Well, they're only one game behind.
Okay.
Tucker for 3. That rims out. Rose Lutz hit both free throws on the other end to give South a 7-6 lead. Shepard with the steal. Van Nett through traffic and no call.
That was a low push in the back by Jade Hill there that the official missed, but Autumn is doing a really good job of pushing that ball up the floor.
Jade Hill with a little shake and bake. Pass deflected. Almost stolen by Jones. And Cushing cannot hook up with Kelly. And Minneapolis South squanders a prime opportunity.
Nice. Both teams are being a little bit careless here with the ball. But I think we could credit the defensive pressure that's being put on the ball handlers. So, got to handle the pressure.
Morgan Hill tries to read the pass and comes up with a steal. Cushing around Tucker.
Nice.
A shuffle pass to Morgan Hill, who will shoot 2. Entering this game, Morgan Hill was about 76 points away from reaching 2,000. South will get Armstrong in the first round of their section. They'll go on the road for that game. South came up a bit short in the first meeting of the year, and South got the 5 seed, even though they have 22 wins coming into today. Most of those wins coming in conference.
Yeah.
And
but
not a lot of strong teams outside of you guys.
Well, I wonder if they're using the QRF in their section. Because with the QRF, they pay attention to those wins. Or maybe that just applies to us who are a Section A. A Class A, I should say. And South is a...
Michaela Van Nett showing her stuff early. She has 7 points and has a chance at 3.
Yeah, I wanted to pause there on that and1 play that Van Nett just had going to the basket. But as I was saying, we are a Class A. And when we play higher classes and we win those games, they benefit us. So I would imagine that it does not help South.
And to go on what you said, in the larger classes, they will do coaches' votes. In Class A and AA, more of them go QRF because the schools are so spread out. As Rain Adams tried to steal the inbound pass, and it ends up in the hands of Van Nett. Bullseye!
Nice. Excellent hustle play. You know, I talk to my girls all the time about, you know, that second effort. And that second effort led to a 3. Excellent hustle on behalf of number 12 there.
Autumn Tucker?
Autumn Tucker.
It's been a while, so we'll give you a pass if you don't know names right away.
Yeah.
But the Como Park Cougars do have a 12-9 lead over Minneapolis South. Well, Crystal, I don't know how much you remember about 2011 when Minneapolis South was last year in the Twin Cities game.
Not a whole lot. It runs, you know, a lot of
It was 6 years ago.
They run all together for me.
Well, I'll leave that as a tease. I will explain what I mean when we get to our next time out.
Please do.
Tucker to Shepard. She goes up. Can't put it in. Morgan in with the rebound. And a dead ball rebound. Or I should say it will stay with South.
That was Jade with that rebound there.
They all look alike.
Yeah, they do. They all play alike. They're all good.
A couple of times I've confused Morgan with her mother.
Oh, man.
Here comes Morgan racing down and scoring in transition.
And she just does that so well. Morgan is not going to miss a lot of layups. You know, a lot of times we see girls miss layups, and that's just not something that Morgan does. And neither does Vanette.
She's not missing much. Como goes for the steal. Well, it almost worked out. Rain Adams not happy with the traveling call, but Alexis Gray-Lawson's not going to fault the hustle play there.
Right. Well, one of the things I really like about Rain Adams is she is hustling. She's scrapping. She's going 110% on defense throughout the whole game.
Shepard fouls Jade Hill, and the 8th grader will shoot too. Alexis Gray-Lawson once said to me that if you ask Rain Adams to run into a wall, her reply is, how fast?
Or the wall better watch out.
Jade Hill averaging.
I'll take your paper again. Sorry about that. we gotta get on the same page here.
Next time I'm going to print off 2 copies of this for you. Well, that's the second page of their stats. Jade averaging 13.3. Not the strongest of free throw shooters, but she gets 1 of 2 there. On the other end, wedgie.
What happens now?
Jump ball.
There you go.
So Minneapolis South. I've covered enough of these high school and college games where if I see a wedgie.
I bet if we did a poll in the stands right now, a lot of the fans would say it would go to the team that did not shoot the ball, which is not correct. It goes with the jump ball, regardless as to who shot the ball.
Well, and when it happens in the WNBA, the players jump for it. In here and in college, they go with the possession arrow.
That's right.
I've done this for 11 years, Crystal. I know a thing or two. Keani Lockett goes up, can't put it in. Van Nett with the board.
But again, you know, the young lady was fearless.
And she stepped on the line.
This is a really, this is like a track meet here. And Jade does what she does so well, which is attack the basket.
We've seen a lot of empty possessions down low, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Rain Adams put herself in a tough shot there.
Yeah, she, you know, the officials, I guess, was not going to let, they were not going to bail her out on that. But I think the officials are letting them play a little bit here early in this game, and are just going to let the players determine this game as they should.
And how about Michaela Van Nett? 14 points and counting.
Well, she has 14 of their 15.
Yeah, Autumn Tucker's the only other player who scored.
Wow.
Nothing out of Elena Jones yet. Lockett
Nice.
finds Cushing. Right idea.
Oh,
Kelly rips it away and gets the friendly roll.
good job. She didn't see the post player standing right there just waiting for her to bring that ball down. That's out of bounds.
15-14 our score. Como with a 1-point lead over Minneapolis South.
Now I want to see who's going to jump up there and get that ball.
Everyone looks puzzled here.
Is there a
I have
broom
never
in the
seen
house?
that.
The South High
I've
School
seen it
have a
get
broom.
stuck on the backboard. They're going to send another ball down and try to dislodge it that way.
Let's see. Oh, see, as an official,
1,
I
2.
never did that.
3,
See, I never did that.
4. 4 ties. 4 pokes, and it paid off.
I would let game management come out and do that for that very reason.
I thought you had the hops. I thought you would just
Yeah.
jump up there and poke it out.
I would have gotten that first ball stuck between the backboard there, but not way up there or on the rim.
Don't tell me you didn't have hops in college. I saw you in
did.
that photo going for the layup.
But you know,
Ooh, that's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, she let a little bit too much with that elbow. Little too much with that elbow. The official's right there in great position to see that obvious foul. And you don't see anyone complaining about that one.
Van Nett to Adams. Pass deflected, picked up by Cushing. South on the run. Might have been a travel. I thought Cushing
Yeah. I think Vanette
let off the
tried to-
dribble a bit, but
She tried to step up and take that charge from Jade, but Jade did as you should, concentrate on making that layup.
and a timeout for Como Park, 16-15 in favor of the Tigers. So 2011, here's the time capsule that I was talking about.
Okay.
It's only a few years ago, but this gives you a sense. The record of the year and the top song of that year was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. And
Is she still relevant right now?
still
She
relevant
picked up all
and
those
wondering when
games.
Beyonce's going to win Album of the Year. The Best Picture Oscar went to the artist. The highest grossing film of that year was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Texas A&M, if you recall, won the NCAA women's basketball tournament in an upset run. UConn won the men's tournament that year, knocking off Butler. A pair of firsts in the NBA, with the Mavericks winning their first NBA title, and I should have added pro basketball because the Lynx won their first WNBA title in 2011, sweeping the Atlanta Dream. That's also when Maya Moore became a pro.
Okay.
Those are a few notes. The Cardinals knocked off the Rangers in the World Series in a dramatic 7-game thriller that included a walk-off home run from David Freese in Game 6. And there's a corner 3 from Azure Jackson.
And she's fresh off the bench with that 3. Nice form there. She was ready for that.
And Morgan Hill travels.
Como applying a lot of pressure here. Doing a really good job of making South think about what they're going to do, bringing it up the court here.
Michaela Van Nett for 3. Blocked. And Kelly picks it up. And they're going to get Jade Hill on the offensive foul. Rain Adams taking a lot of contact.
Wow.
So she's drawn both Hills into an elbow.
Yeah, they're just leading a little bit too much. I think you got to make sure that you keep that collapsed elbow there.
And Elena Jones with the first basket. You're not going to deny her in the paint for long. And Alexis Gray Lawson has really high hopes on her potential over the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah. She'll shoot that three, too. Kelly is, she has a big body, but she'll step out and shoot that three-pointer.
Morgan Hill will take one. Bullseye. Morgan doesn't shoot a lot of threes. That's just her 24th this year, 31% three-point shooter. She prefers to drive.
Yeah, but I can attest, if you leave her out there, she will take that shot. And
5-second call on Como.
She'll make that shot. So you have to respect that. Both teams are doing a really good job of applying pressure, not just letting the guards just bring the ball up.
Cushing for three. Got it.
She's another deadly three-point shooter out there. Real good composure, nice form.
Vanette sees a hole and makes the most of it. Vanette's season high is 43. She achieved that mark against St. Paul Harding, knocking down 13 triples. Might need a few more baskets to get there today, but she's attacking. Jackson for three. Off the rebound. Jones is there and will shoot two.
I think that is Morgan Hill's second foul there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, if she'll stay in the game or if she'll come out.
It is her second personal foul. Elena Jones, a 56% free throw shooter.
The young lady is really strong, has a nice size, nice strength, uses the backboard well. You have to put a body on her.
And I forgot to add one more tidbit about the year 2011. That year marked the final episode of Oprah's syndicated talk show.
Now, you know what? That's something that I should have known. Huge Oprah fan.
You are?
I purchased her box set, believe it or not.
South in transition, Rose Lutz scoring.
Oh, yeah.
Is that box set next to your new edition collection?
Not yet.
And Bobby Brown, not yet. You're getting there?
I will be purchasing that box set when it comes out. That show, that new edition mini-series that was out was awesome. As you saw on Facebook, I love it.
Along with that, the Patriots winning the Super Bowl, coming back from 25 down.
Oh yeah, I got my gear coming in the mail. That was a very dangerous pass by Morgan.
Jade Hill can't put it in. Rose Lutz with the O-board and gets the friendly bounce.
You know, as I said, Mike, you know, these second opportunities that both teams are having, they have to box out and keep each other off the boards.
Another turnover on the Cougars. Cushing. And a bump. Nothing called there.
Yeah. That's a good no call. That's a really good no call.
Yeah, it was incidental. I mean, Elena Jones was playing for the ball.
Yeah. There's no advantage there. So, you know, as they're doing, South gets the ball back out of bounds.
I'm thinking of the pass interference call of football. You know, Jones made an effort to get the ball. Jade Hill knocks down the baseline. And it's 28-24.
Yeah, I think we've had several lead changes here. So it's going to be quite interesting.
It's been back and forth. I talked to Nate McGuire beforehand. He didn't think we'd see a score along the likes of Tuesday's Como-Cromwell game, but we're shaping up to have an offensive showdown. Autumn Tucker, who has maybe the highest arc of any shot I've ever seen. Hill through the hole, and she can't lay it in.
Morgan better be careful there.
She's playing with two fouls. And Como in the bonus for what that's worth.
And Vanette will shoot that shot from right there. Good thing Jade is up in her face. She's respecting her ability to take that shot.
She's trying to work off the screen. Now fires. Jones comes up short. And I'll say South has done a great job containing Jones down low. Jump ball, Como with the arrow.
Doing a good job of double teaming Morgan there, making her pick that pass up and she's trying to dribble through the defenders. She has to just take a retreat dribble there and look up the court.
Van Nett to Shepard. High low too high. Shepard and one. Asia Shepard has struggled a bit this season. Missed the first few games of the year due to some family matters down in Chicago, but has tried to get things going and just hasn't found a consistent stroke.
Yeah, well, she's working her way back, and this is a good time to come back and join your team and help push toward the state tournament.
Jade Hill, what a great stutter step.
That is a signature Hill sisters trait.
Jade, Morgan, Taylor, Tanisha.
They do it, and it is automatic layup. Or and one. That was a push off there.
Van Nett scores.
Nice job. She used the body really well on that move.
Lockett. Whoa, ran into a wall. Jones one-on-one. Can Kelly get there? No.
Too much body. A little too much body, and that's her second quick foul there.
You're not going to fault Kelly for trying to get the stop, but
Absolutely.
It's tough to get that clean block when you're on the move like that.
Right, and her hands were straight up. And you'll see players often show their hands, but, you know, the ref is also looking at the lower part of your body, and that's what she fouled her with.
Elena Jones splits there, and that's going to be a foul on Rain Adams. 5:03 left in the first half, 30-29 our score. Como looking to win the Twin Cities game for the third year in a row. Minneapolis South highly successful in these Twin Cities matchups, winning in 2008, 2009, and 2011.
Well, you know, South actually tied for Minneapolis Conference last year. However,
well, yeah, what I mean is the
Southwest.
Twin Cities game.
Sure.
Because, yeah, Southwest got to go because of the longer drought. It's a strange tiebreaker, but it is what it is.
South is slowing it down a little bit now, working their offense.
They hold a 1-point lead. Hill goes up. Well, now she's padding her numbers.
And one. Defense did a good job of sliding over and making her change that first shot, but what did she forget to do? Box out, put a body on her.
Morgan Hill, averaging 24.9 a game, 8th in the state.
Morgan also made the Minneapolis Conference. She was the Minneapolis Conference Player of the Year for the second year in a row here.
Why does that not surprise me?
May have been the third. I wasn't here the year before.
Tell me something I don't know.
She's an even better young lady.
Autumn Tucker misses. Elena Jones fouled again by Kelly, and I believe that's her third.
That's her third. She's gotten the last 3 South fouls, so that's definitely her third. And she's getting ready to come out the game. You know, very few players are able to play through that second foul in the first half. And as a coach, you know, you try to give them an opportunity. And sometimes it's just that, wrong place, wrong time kind of foul that you get. Instead of letting that go, you know, she bumped her again and got her third. But you can't blame a player for continuing to play defense.
Elena Jones, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Kelly, deep 3, off the heel again. Shepard with the board. Goes to Van Nett, hesitates, pulls the side fade, and comes up short there.
Yeah, her 3 is a little bit off right now, but I guarantee you she's going to keep shooting it.
And Morgan Hill can't finish the high-low play from Kelly.
Morgan looks like she might be a little bit winded.
And a foul on Jade Hill will send Rain Adams to the free throw line. And we mentioned high arcs with Autumn Tucker. Watch Rain Adams shoot free throws here. There's a good chance it might hit the ceiling. Well, we'll have to wait a little bit because the timeout has been called with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first half.
You know, those high arcing shots may be a result of practicing on a shooting machine. So those machines tend to get you to shoot it a little bit higher than normal, but it's still really exaggerated. But I wouldn't doubt if that has something to do with it.
As long as it goes in. And remember, Autumn Tucker at 5 feet, Rain Adams at 5'2". Those are the listed heights. So, really small for a basketball player, and without that high arc, their shot may be more susceptible to being blocked.
Absolutely, but you know what? They shoot that shot like that whether somebody's in their face or not.
Well, right, could just be out of habit, and like I said, when you're short, you got to find a way to compensate.
Yep.
And speaking of Adams, how about Andrea in the season she's having at St. John's? Really coming on strong in the last few games of the year for the Red Storm.
Yeah, I haven't had an opportunity. I think St. John's streams a lot of their games. I'm going to make sure I try and check out some of her games. She was a phenomenal high school player. I actually had an opportunity to see her last year when Como Park played De La Salle in their section final. And she put on
I remember seeing you there.
She put on a clinic.
I was at both meetings that year. Andrea had 35 in the regular season game in a matchup that produced 4 technical fouls.
Yeah, it was a very, very...
Those two teams didn't like each other that year.
I think when it comes time to play in a section in the state tournament, no one's friends anymore.
Rain Adams missed both free throws. South leads by 2. They've had a slight edge for most of the first half.
She's got to take that shot. Lockett has to take that shot.
Cushing does and misses, and that happened in the Stillwater game. Lockett passed up a 3, ended up turning it over, and Sarah Scalia knocked one on the other end. Or I should say she passed up a drive, and she was chided by Nathan McGuire for a 5-point swing.
Shooters can't second guess their opportunities to take the shot. But South, as we see, are doing a really good job of taking their time, moving the ball. Their patience is really good. And there's the shot.
Jade Hill with the air ball.
Rebounder over there.
Como wants to push. Asia Shepard. Good job by Cushing to not give her a lane. Hill to Hill.
Sister connection. It's a foul.
Morgan Hill has struggled to put down a few down low.
Yeah, I think she got bumped a little bit there.
Refs are letting a lot of contact go, and there's a foul call.
She called a kick or a foul? I think she called a kick. She called a kick
okay,
ball.
Kick ball, yep.
Well, what you got to know is if your leg is extended, whether intentional or not intentional, that is going to be called a kick ball.
Jade tried the touch pass to Morgan, and it bounces to the wall.
Yeah, I just really think that Morgan may be a little bit winded here, and she's not playing to her full strength, and so those passes are not getting caught.
Van Nett unable to knock down the 3. South did play a couple nights ago, losing to Wayzata in a close one, and there's a foul on Van Nett. South in the bonus here.
Lockett did a good job of controlling that, and a hand on the ball handler is going to be an automatic foul if she's penetrating to the basket.
Lockett missing the front end.
What the free throw percentage for each team is today.
Both teams in a bit of a rut here, and that was a bailout foul for Jade Hill. Rain Adams was in a jam, and Jade bails her out with the foul.
Yeah. She was just a little too aggressive just then.
Rain Adams gets on the board here. She averages 7.7 a game, just a 57% free throw shooter.
You know, one thing, Ray is not going to play out of her skills and ability. She's going to hustle hard on defense. She's going to get to loose balls. She's going to attack the basket and just put maximum pressure.
Well, she's the last of the Adams clan, she and her twin brother Robert. So once she graduates next year, there will be no more Adams sisters for the girls team.
I know the St. Paul City Conference is going to be happy about that.
Well, and there could be some competition next year with this Elisa Carlin, I believe, at St. Paul Central. She was among the state leaders in points and rebounds on a St. Paul Central team that struggled a bit, jump ball south of the arrow. So Carlin was kind of a one-trick pony in that sense for the Minutemen. She was the only one who could put up big numbers like that, but still, to get 25 and 13 in your freshman season, first year of varsity, she's going to draw a lot of eyeballs next year. Well, she may not be on that roster because Central's JV team got it in, and Carlin doesn't play on JV, but Cushing, 3-ball. Missing the corner. Ball is live and goes to the hands of Jones. We're tied at 33 with 28 seconds left. Let's see what they do. Do you go to Van Nett? Do you try to set something up for Jones?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say Van Nett is going to shoot a 3, or maybe they're going to open up the court and she's going to attack the rim. But don't be deceived. She's probably not looking for a layup here.
Autumn Tucker hit a 3 to end the first half against Cromwell. Won't do that here. Morgan Hill comes up just a little bit short on that heave, and we end the first half the way we started, in a tie, 33-all.
That was a really good first half. Both teams no more than 4-point lead. I expect much of the same in the second half.
And with that, we'll take a break and go to some highlights from our prior Twin Cities games. As we mentioned, this is Como's third straight appearance in the Twin Cities game, and they've been victorious in their first 2. And then we'll come back to finish things up and put a bow on the 2016-17 regular season for high school girls basketball. We're tied at 33. Adams almost lost it, going to Van Nett. Bullseye.
Hey, you're going to be able to get that right there if she can break down the defense.
Renikoff from the corner. She's a 53% three-point shooter. Luck has not been on their side in these Twin Cities games. And that three-pointer was crucial. Here's Bagney with an and one. This has not been a polished game. Andrea Adams is making all the tough shots look easy. Well, didn't win a state title, but got very close, and even so, just persistence paying off. And here's Renikoff. 15-footer is good, and Washburn on a quick surge.
Well, as you can see,
another scramble for the ball. It will go into the hands. Well, we still don't know.
And
finally
here we go.
To Washburn.
This will be a big shot if they can hit it.
Lucia Renikoff. Rebound won by the Millers. Shepard, runner, gets the bounce. Watched for many years at St. Paul Central, then took the job after his daughter graduated. Andre Adams sees the hole and gives Como Park the lead. 14.2, both teams in the double bonus, so any foul gets 2 free throws automatically. Downing, got it!
See, they screen that right side again.
And a calm, collected jumper for Andrea Adams. She's up to 29. That's what I've got her at unofficially.
You have to be smart. You got to put it in the right people's hands. And once again, you got a ball screen on the right side.
Adams, bullseye!
And she is taking advantage of it.
Remember all those misses early on we talked about? Any one of them, and we might have a different score.
Are you kidding me?
Andrea Adams pumping her fist in jubilation. Crap, I think they're going to try to force a steal out of her. And she's just going to maneuver through traffic and run in for the dagger. That was the worst thing you could do. the first time the Twin Cities game has been held here at Como Park High School. As you know, Como Park won last year. Kicks out, Shepard fires the three. That's no good. Rebound by Holeen. She's all over the place. And Kia Parker gets on the board. Lee lost the dribble, recovers though. Parker for three. Everything going in for the Lakers. But what a start this has turned out to be for the Lakers. And it will continue. Another steal and another fast break bucket. Vanette, the three-point threat. Opts for mid-range instead. Swish. Vanette is on the board. Adams with the steal. And the finish. But the high carom goes to Shepard. She's not given up from three-point range, but still is yet to hit. And Andrea Adams gives Como Park their first lead on the third chance opportunity. And the steal by Parker. She can't put it in. That would have been huge for Southwest, but Holloway gets the rebound, shakes Shepard and scores. Back-to-back buckets for Holloway. High-low for Holloway is good. Holeen with the assist. 5-point game, 2 minutes to go. Como's gonna have to be a little more risky now. Holeen with the finish. Is that the dagger? Holeen with 29. Lee missing both free throws, so Como Park still has a chance, but they're running out of time. Andrea Adams hits the tray. Rain gets it into Andrea. Sees a lane. Gets a friendly roll. And both teams in the bonus now. Andrea, here she comes. Slice it through and gives Como Park the lead. Como Park comes back from 7 down with a few minutes to go and a 15-0 deficit early. And they win back-to-back Twin Cities championships in the most dramatic of fashion. And we are back at Minneapolis South High School. I'm Mike Peeting, and Crystal Flint will return to the booth in a minute. This is the 2017 Twin Cities Girls Basketball Championship. And the Minneapolis South Tigers and Como Park Cougars are tied. Both schools are on big winning streaks. Como winners of 8 in a row, and Minneapolis South had a winning streak that was snapped by the loss to Wayzata. But prior to that point, they had won 14 in a row. Michaela Van Nett leads all players in scoring with 18 points. Elena Jones has 7. Those are your notables for Como Park. Minneapolis South, Morgan Hill has 12, Jade Hill has 7, Cushing and Lutz have 6. But as you noted, Crystal, Morgan appearing a bit fatigued, having some trouble finishing down low.
Yeah, I think, that timeout is going to help her, to get a little rejuvenated and get back going. But you could tell that she was a little sluggish, so those passes that I think she normally would catch, those layups that she normally would make, she was coming up a little short because I think she was a little winded.
Minneapolis South, first visit to the Twin Cities game in 6 years. Como Park in their 3rd straight appearance. Como ran through the St. Paul City Conference table easily. South had to sweat a couple of close ones with you guys. One in overtime and one that was close until the final couple of minutes.
Yeah, we had a nice streak going, and then we had a intentional foul. Oh.
Speaking of streaking. Speaking of streaking, that's what South tried to do, but they came up short.
Yeah. That is Morgan's 3rd foul. That's we'll put a little asterisk there at the time and see what happens with that. She gets another one. It's not going to be good for South.
This is not a deep South team.
No, it isn't. I think they go about
6 or 7.
6 or 7 deep.
And outside of the Hill Sisters, they don't have a lot of consistent options on offense. And a dead ball rebound will go to the Cougars, I should say.
Yeah, but you know, when you think about it, Como doesn't go that deep either. But I think their bench players are very capable to come in and maintain what their starters are doing.
Tucker for three. Has yet to hit a three-pointer today. Jump ball south of the arrow.
You know, one thing about Como, as well as South, I mean, they're a little off with these three-point shots, but they're going to keep shooting, and that's what shooters do. South looks a little discombobulated here in terms of what they should be doing. Looks like they're a little more settled into their offense now.
Cushing for three. High Karam goes to Van Nett.
She'll shoot it right back, too.
Instead, she cuts inside and scores.
Nice hesitation move by Vanette. She made Morgan think she was going to shoot that three, maintain her ball handling abilities, and went and got a layup, which is the higher percentage shot anyway.
And when you have a strong three-point game like Van Nett does, you can use that to juke your defenders.
Absolutely.
And South throws it away.
And that's going to be a turnover. Which Lockett, if that had been touched, she might want to have let that go out of bounds, because saving that back inbound, Como would have had a clear line in for a layup.
Well, I think if she touched it, would have been a backcourt, so officials would have blown the play dead. Van Nett.
Actually, I said if they had touched it.
And a foul on Rose Lutz will send Jones to the line. She's been pretty busy from there tonight. Just one field goal.
Again, these free throws could make the difference for both teams if they're making them.
Well, Jones is 6 of 8, and Como with a three-point lead. Morgan Hill recovers, finds Lockett, goes up, comes up short on the runner. Rebound Jones. Van Nett hesitates and was blocked by Jade Hill. We have a collision, and it will be Como ball.
Nice job by Jade not to go for that hesitation move, and she was ready for Vanette to hit that step back. Good block.
They swing it around. Shepard will fire, and defenders will give her that. Van Nett with the open three, and she's struggled from three-point range. Just one triple today. Nice hesitation move by Cushing, and she can't knock it in. So many missed bunnies. Tucker tried to go off the window and was too high. South can run. Lockett all alone.
Oh.
Ouch. Here she comes. Shepard didn't see her coming.
Nice hustle back by the young.
Lockett tried to thread the needle to Morgan Hill. Van Nett won't have any of it. Rain Adams, and one. And that's the fourth foul on Kelly.
Can't blame the young lady for trying to push it down and get an assist there, but perhaps she didn't see the defender that was standing there.
And that's a foul on Van Ed. Much to her dismay. And I don't recall if you stuck around for the varsity game last year, but when we were running highlights of the Twin Cities games of past, we can forget what Andrea did against Southwest. 43 points, 15 rebounds. Morgan Hill. Kelly staying in there with the 4 fouls, and she gets the putback. She's up to 4, but she has to be careful.
It's a lot of time on the floor to have a player in with 4 fouls, and Como Park didn't realize that Kelly was standing in front of her.
Rain Adams called for the block. I thought it could have gone either way. That's just a second on Rain and a side out for the Tigers, but I thought Rain had herself set. Maybe she shuffled it a little bit toward the end.
Yeah, where we were sitting and where the official is could be 2 different perspectives.
Kelly off the inbound, and she is a master at knocking in mid-range J's off inbound plays. So a couple of quick baskets, and she's up to 6, and the Tigers cut the margin down to 2. Timeout, Alexis Gray-Lawson with 13:06 remaining in the second half. Mike Beaton and Crystal Flynn here with you. And Crystal, with this being the last day of the regular season for girls hoops, any moments or stories or memories? I know yours are probably a bit skewed because you spend most of your time at North, but just from some of the things you've heard, what stands out?
Man, like you said, I have not gotten to
You haven't been outside too much outside of North.
No, not a whole lot. I did see the I've actually had an opportunity to see Hopkins play a few times. I saw Hopkins in the Como game, and Como struggled quite a bit against Hopkins' athleticism, and they have so many weapons. And Como didn't score a whole lot against them. But that was, outside of that, I think I saw the Hopkins Park Center game as well, which was a bit of a battle. But outside of that, I really have not gotten out to see anything outside of the cities.
Alexis Gray-Lawson spent that time out and voiced her displeasure at the officials over the blocking foul called on Rain Adams. Azare Jackson missing the three-pointer. Lex and I shared quite a few thoughts on the Candace Wiggins story that dominated women's basketball news this week. Lockett missing the runner.
Young 7th graders getting a lot of good looks. It's just not falling for her. I mean, she just has to keep doing what she's doing. But I think if she keeps getting in the lane, that shot is going to fall.
Dania Riley looks like she's on the floor, and she's fouled by Lockett. As Crystal noted in the open, these are two pretty young teams.
Two really scrappy teams, too. I mean, as you can see, you don't get a chance to breathe if you have the ball in your hands going each way.
Como's only going to lose a couple of role players in Asia Shepard and Azare Jackson to graduation next year. In Minneapolis South, they only have one senior that plays significant minutes, and that's Rose Lutz.
Yeah, a lot of teams aren't losing a bunch of players. I mean, even at Minneapolis North, we're only losing 2 seniors. The majority of our team coming back, which is...
And that was the prevailing theme for girls basketball this year, with the crop of young talent all over the state.
Yeah.
After a big senior class last year. Jackson for 3. Yes! Azare Jackson with 6 off the bench, and the Cougars lead by 5, which is their largest.
Look for North, excuse me. Look for South to come back and try and match that 3, and there it is, right on cue.
Jade Hill can't match it, and Morgan Hill stepped on the line. And here comes Shepard, who transferred from St. Paul Harding after her sophomore season. And as we've noted, this is a Como team that has proven their resilience over the last calendar year, overcoming a wave of negative press that happens with fights and the like. Lanita Jones drives and scores. We haven't seen much of that yet. There was an embezzlement scandal with their former athletic director, but they got some positive press actually when they hosted you guys back in late November.
Oh yeah, that was
for African American Community Night over at
yes,
Como Park.
that was a really fun, community, family-oriented high school basketball game.
Morgan
And there's
Hill
that
sinks
three.
the three. Finally gets one to fall. She's had a couple of them actually.
I like to really credit Como coaches, Alexis Gray Larson, on that being her idea and putting it all together. It was well received, well attended, and a lot of fun for both teams.
Lockett short on the three, and contact made by Lutz as Adams went up for the rebound.
I played South a few years now, and I don't think I've seen them look as dejected as they're looking right now. They're definitely going to have to watch their body language and just continue to play. Basketball is a game of runs. They're only down by 4, so have to just stay in it, stay with it.
Kelly gets a steal. There's an example.
Ooh.
And another blocking foul on Van Ed. And she looks absolutely perplexed.
Yeah, she was expecting Morgan to keep going, but we all know Morgan's going to make that step-through move that she loves to go to and is patting it really well.
That is the 4th personal foul on Van Ed. She'll go to the bench. Kelly again.
So, with that being said,
If this were a game of inbound plays, Kelly would have about 50 points.
Hey, you go to what works until the other team stops it. But there's quite a few girls with 4 fouls right now, and this is going to be interesting with Kelly with 4 and Van Ed for Como with 4. And number 15 for South also has
Rose Lutz. Morgan Hill
4
with the
fouls.
steal. She's got a full head of steam, and another miss down low. Jade Hill draws the foul and will shoot 2, but this has not been Morgan Hill's day from the lane.
No, I don't think I've seen Morgan miss this many layups.
Like you said, maybe fatigue, maybe having Como breathing down your neck, who knows, but this is a bit uncharacteristic for a junior who's being scouted by some high caliber D1 programs.
Yeah, but that happens to the best of us. And
even Maya Moore has had her bad games.
Was that Wyzetta game recently?
That was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay.
But she's still scrapping, gets a steal there. And we have a foul called on Como on Rain Adams, and I believe that is her 4th. No, her 3rd. But the fouls are piling up here.
We might be looking at both benches playing each other. So.
9:25 left. We could be looking that way. Here comes Van Ed in for Jackson. So Kelly and Van Ed both on the floor with 4 fouls. Maisie Johnson, number 20, sparingly used player on the floor for the Tigers.
And the score is 44-44 with 9 minutes left in the game.
Not an efficient Twin Cities game here, certainly not compared to last year. And Como hasn't played since Tuesday. Cushing didn't see a lane down low, so she'll kick back out. Kelly, the mid-range master, gives South the lead.
Kelly is coming up big with 4 fouls.
And South has scored 9 in a row.
take a 2-point lead here.
So who's going to step up for Como? That was a wild shot from Jones. A back and forth game. Jade Hill may have been deflected. Vanette. Got the bailout.
Is he going to give that to Jade or Kelly?
It's on Jade Hill.
And
it looked that way from here, and that's her third.
Well, he did call the push, and I think Coach said that was a little too close for comfort. Let me get her out of here for a little bit and put her back in a few.
Especially with Kelly being instrumental in this 9-0 South run. Rain Adams, that's short. Como had a late arrival of sorts. It wasn't enough to disrupt their pregame warm-up rituals, but as you know, sometimes even a little adjustment in your routine, whether it's arrival or warm-ups, can throw you off a little bit.
Yes.
And sometimes you just run into a tough game like Como is here. Morgan Hill will shoot 2. And the foul will be charged to Zarina Cementelli. Both teams out of fouls to give, so free throws are going to be crucial for the remaining 7:51.
Which means it's going to be a long 7 minutes.
You wouldn't expect anything else in a Twin Cities game. Last year was a marathon, every game running excessively long. They all were foul fests, it seemed.
Yeah, I believe our JV game last year went into overtime, which probably assisted in pushing back that Como Southwest game.
Asia Shepherd missed the 3. Kelly, I should say Vanette, side fade, bullseye. And that was a badly needed 3-pointer for the Cougars.
Yes, it was. With Hill standing right in her face.
Well, Vanette knows how to step up in big games. 2 years ago, she had an instrumental run of her own to help the Cougars knock off the Washburn Millers as a freshman, and she can put up some big numbers, especially if she's feeling up in 3-point range. We have a 1-point game here. Johnson for Lutz. And a traveling violation. The pass was a little high, and I've said this many times in basketball, even one little slip-up can screw up an entire play.
Yes, it can. Especially if it involves your feet. It is a travel. Good ball movement.
Autumn Tucker missing the tray. Rebound bounces into the hands of Vanette.
Gotta get to that rebound.
They kick out. Vanette off the screen, throws up, and drains the runner. So Vanette,
it's a big basket there.
You're speaking about keeping your feet in balance. I wondered what you have to say about Tisa Mitchell's husband and how he realized he could have pulled off a bunch of moves that he thought he couldn't because of traveling.
Oh, yeah.
He was fuming about that for a while.
Yeah, you know, people talk about you get 2 steps once you pick up the ball. It really has nothing to do with 2 steps. It has to do when you gather the ball and start your attempt to make a layup. Once you pick your pivot foot up, you have to shoot the ball before it lands back on the ground. And that's what some people don't do. Oh, am I stepping on your cord there? I'm sorry.
That's all right. 6:12 left in the second half, and I guess I'll share a few stories on my end because I've been around the Metro, as you know. It seems traveled quite all, even went down to Austin for a Maranatha Lyle Pacelli game, which was a lot of fun. Got a chance to get a real taste of small school hoops. Went up to Sasago Lakes. Unfortunately, covered the game where Carmen Backus tore her ACL. Over on the boys' side, Minneapolis North looks like they will march on to a Class A title. Nothing guaranteed, of course. Larry McKenzie is a little more confident than I am, per se, but I don't want to be the guy that jinxes anybody.
Well, he has to be confident. You know?
Right. You're allowed to be confident as a coach. I'm just going to tell you, I don't want to jinx you. So I'm not going to give anyone the state title until they won it.
Absolutely. At this point of the year, anything is possible.
And it looks like Elena Jones is getting a word over at the Como bench. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, I missed that one too.
That's a big vacancy for the Cougars here, but Van Nett is stepping up when Como needs her most.
And Kelly, with 4 fouls, just allowed her to go right to the basket. And Vanette did as any good basketball player would do, is make her play defense.
Morgan Hill, tough shot. Well, but that's what Hills do best.
Yes, they do. Great players make great plays.
And speaking of Taylor, she'll have a couple of great players alongside her this season, and Christy Tolliver, who won a championship with the Sparks, and Elena Deladon.
Man, that was an awesome pickup.
And I mentioned that to Tanisha when I was at the De La Salle North game on Wednesday, as Shepard with a nice behind-the-back pass to Sementelli. What a beauty.
That was a nice pass there. Excellent look.
I was going to say, anytime you mention the Washington Mystics now, Tanisha Scott's eyes glow. They get wide-eyed, and she's excited to see the potential for this Washington team. Dead ball rebound to the Tigers. That was the first basket for Zarina Sementelli, who doesn't score a lot, and for Asia Shepard, a nice passing play. Again, every time I've come to a Como game, she's had trouble finding her form, and it's good to see her keep fighting here.
Oh.
And she was quite the scorer at St. Paul Hardin. Well, there's sister helping sister out.
Absolutely.
And it's a one-point game.
Around the rim. If one shoots, the other is crashing the board.
Johnson with the steal. Cushing to Hill. Blocked by Tucker.
Excellent hustle play. They're never giving up on that. I think Vanette said, I better be careful here and not pick up my 5th foul. But Tucker continued to play defense and got a great block there, saving for sure 2 points.
Cushing tries to hit the 3, does not do so. Jade Hill with the O-board, stays on her pivot. Johnson fires, can't bank it. High recoil goes into the hands of Shepard, looking to hook up with Tucker. Tucker goes up, lays it in.
Nice and high. There's that short player with that high arcing shot.
That's like I said, Autumn Tucker may have the highest arc I've seen, but again, when you're short, you gotta make up for it some way. And since he's not gonna grow another feet or two, another miss from Cushing from 3-point range.
Get it.
Not a backcourt because it was deflected.
It's a rebound.
And the official was right on it. Morgan Hill for 3, off the heel.
She rushed that shot a little bit.
The Kelly hustling for the rebound, but rushed her shot. Johnson with the save. Jade Hill for 3. No good. Kelly again, and she's fouled by Sementelli. She'll go to the line for 2. 1-1, I should say. But what a sequence by South, hustling to keep that possession alive.
Yeah. South did a good job of...
And here comes Elena Jones.
Staying with that rebound, and we just talked about a little bit ago, Jones being off the court there, and Coach had to get her back in the game because South just got 4 offensive rebounds that led to a foul.
Kelly, oh, that's not right. They have her at 2 of 9 from the free throw line, but I was here for the game with you guys, and she shoots a lot better than 22%.
Yeah, I would think she does. You know, sometimes all of the stats aren't put in.
Or they get jumbled up, or who knows. But Kelly splits there. I can assure you she's better than 22%. Van Nett on the drive, too strong. Jones, there she is with the rebound. Asia Shepard, swish.
Excellent shot. That's a big shot for her.
And the Cougars push the lead back to 5, but a long way to go with 3:15 left. This is not over. Morgan Hill for the answer. That looks off, and it is. Jade Hill, rejected by Jones.
Jones is coming up big here, hitting a big 3 on the offensive end, coming down, getting a big block on the defensive end. Way to play both ends of the floor.
She averages close to a double-double. And now Como can control the clock if they wish.
And for the first time, they're really slowing it down to get the best shot they can get.
Jones, short. Rebound, goes to Jade Hill. Cushing tries to push it and couldn't put on the brakes.
Oh. Great
I
pressure.
think she had Rain Adams right on her heel, and the pressure got to her.
Pressure.
Jones goes up, another miss. South still has a lifeline. Cushing, a little off balance, but nobody boxed out Jade Hill on a foul on Shepard. Jade Hill to the line for a 1-and-1, but Jade not the most accurate of free throw shooters, as we've got a few fans right behind us here.
Yeah, I think I got kicked a little bit. But all the excitement going on in here.
We've got some little tykes who are interested in this one. Jade Hill gets the front end to fall.
I think late in the game, Jade tends to concentrate a little bit more and gets those free throws to fall.
And I'll be really excited to see how the Hill sisters hook up next year as Morgan enters her senior season. Jade will start her freshman year, and there's another one on the way by the name of Angel.
Tricky ball movement there.
Jones draws the foul on Kelly,
yes,
and that's
did.
it.
Yes, she did. Great presence of mind for Tucker to make that extra pass to pick up that fifth foul on Kelly. Whoever comes in for South is going to have to really crash the boards.
And this is a shooting foul, so 2 free throws for Elena Jones.
Coach has decisions to make. Is he going to put Lockett in, or is he going to put Lutz in?
Here comes Lutz.
Lutz.
And Lockett. So Johnson
Okay.
and Kelly. Well, Kelly fouls out. She'll finish with 11 points. And not only is this a loss on the boards for South, but Kelly, part of that 9-0 South run to give him the lead. You miss a huge mid-range presence.
The game is still in striking distance. South just has to focus a little bit, get good shots, crash the boards, and obviously play some defense.
Elena Jones knocks down both free throws. A sophomore who's coming into her own. And this Como team had a lot of questions to answer about the leadership. Who would take over that mantle after Andre Adams graduated? Jade Hill gets a friendly bounce.
It's a big basket for an
timeout
eighth
by
grader.
South. They have 1 remaining with 1:27 left on the clock and a 1-possession game. Of course, an eternity to decide who wins this, and it was just a couple years ago where we had a Twin Cities game go to overtime.
And do you remember who that was?
That was Como and Washburn,
Okay.
with the Cougars proving victorious there. Como, winners of 8 in a row, would like to end the regular season with 9. South had a 14-game winning streak snapped with the loss to Wayzata. Van Ed to Rain Adams. Como could play keep away here. Rain Adams, oh, that was close.
Almost had an and one.
course, the danger of trying to play keep away, and I understand why Rain Adams attacked with 1:10 left and a one-possession game. And that's on Rose Lutz, so she is out of the game.
Adams did a really good job of ball handling and keeping her dribble. She did not pick up the ball and attack the basket.
So Lutz will go out. Nathan McGuire using his 30 seconds that he gets to pick a replacement.
And he's in a really difficult situation in terms of who am I going to put in, you know, this late in the game that's going to be able to produce. But Johnson had just been in the game, so he went back with her.
And Rain Adams misses the front end.
Still just a 3-point game with 1:10 left, so anything is still possible.
Rain Adams misses both, like we said, a 57% free throw shooter.
Expect the Hill sisters.
And a foul was called on Como Park. As they tried to go for the steal, it's on Rain Adams. And south to the free throw line, Rain Adams picks up her fourth.
So expect the Hill sisters to have the ball in their hands a majority of this last.
And if there's anyone who has experience in this situation, it's the Hill sisters.
Absolutely.
And not just on their own accord. They grew up watching their big sister
well,
work
I
her way
also
out of so
know,
many tight games.
I also know from experience late in our game, that overtime game that we lost, between the two of them, they scored about 10 points down the stretch that won the game in regulation and then, tied the game in regulation and then beat us in overtime.
Morgan Hill makes just one of two, but it's a 2-point game with a minute to go. And Alexis Gray Lawson will call a timeout. She had 3 remaining. 58.4 on the clock.
Shepard looked a little nervous there bringing that ball
And that may be
up.
why Lawson called the timeout.
Oh, yeah.
And how about the job that Alexis Gray Lawson has done with Como in just 2 years?
Just a phenomenal job, but you know, she brings a wealth of experience, having played at a high level, including a stint in the WNBA, so I'm sure her girls are hanging on her every word and listening to her as a coach, and they're reaping the benefits of that.
Since she took over, she has stressed athleticism and accountability at Como Park. John Robinson was the architect for Como Park's rise. They took the boys' job, and I remember sort of the shock from the Adams family, who grew up as a childhood friend, in the case of Andrea Adams. But Patrick told his budding daughter, who finished with over 3,000 points, this is a taste of what the higher levels are like.
Absolutely.
Basketball is a business, and John decided to move on, and he had every right to do so. And I'd say Como Park got better for it.
Yes.
Van Nett to Jones.
South went for a gamble there that almost paid off for him.
The high risk, high reward, and it was Como who got the reward there, much like the game with Cromwell Wright when Elena Jones hit the dagger. Morgan Hill drives and scores to make it a 2-point game again, but they only have one timeout left. They almost have to foul. If they don't get the steal, they have to foul.
That's a good foul.
Well, no foul. Alexis Gray Lawson called another timeout with 26.7.
Okay, so right now I'm sure coach is going to let them know that the pressure's going to come, handle the ball, play with strength, and meet your passes.
And it looks like, I think those are Van Nett's younger siblings who are behind us and now have run off into the concession stands.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody gave him some money because I was getting kicked all in my back.
And I was a little concerned myself. Well, that's the hazard of calling a game from the bleachers, but that's the nature of basketball sometimes. You're among your closest friends. Now, 2-point game. South with 8 fouls, Como with 9. So a foul from South here, Como would still be in the 1-and-1. So you could get a stop that way. And both teams with just one timeout left. Como holds the possession arrow should we have a tie-up. It's only fitting that Como has another nail-biter in the Twin Cities game. There's the foul from Cushing. As we noted, the game with Washburn went to overtime. The game with Southwest almost went to overtime. Como had to fight off a 15-0 deficit to start that one.
And South is going to see if Rain Adams can make some free throws here. This is a 1-and-1.
And she's had difficulty knocking them down, but she gets the front end there.
As they say, nothing but net. Great composure.
It's both there. And that's going to put some pressure on South. Hilda Cushing for 3. Yes! Timeout was called. They may put some time back on the clock. I don't think anyone expected Solana Cushing to hit a three-pointer.
And from that date, well, actually, she's a three-point shooter. I just don't think they was gonna...
everyone's probably thinking they're going to go to the hills.
Yeah.
And if that was the thought of South, give them props for using the hills as a decoy. Cushing was wide open.
Absolutely, and that was a pretty deep three, which I don't think Como was expecting. But you got to respect her range and her ability to knock down a three-point shot.
Now a timeout was called. They're going to put 1.7 seconds back on the clock, so we'll have 13.7 once they get it set.
And they got to add another 2 zeros to that. So
well,
that
it stopped
right.
at 12, and now they put 13.7. But I believe that was the last timeout for Nate McGuire.
Yeah, it's reading 1 on the clock. Oh,
there we go. So South is out of timeouts. They cannot stop the clock anymore. Both teams are in the double bonus effectively, so South, worst case scenario, they'll face a 1-possession margin. Como can't make this a 2-possession score.
And look to South to either try and get a 5-second call, steal this ball, or get a quick foul.
And Cushing fouled Rain Adams. Well, that may not be a bad idea either.
She just made 2. I don't know. I probably would have gone.
The reason I say that because at this level, if you foul before the inbound, Como doesn't get possession after this.
Right.
In the WNBA, if you were to do that, you get 1 free throw and possession. But here, it's just 2.
Yes.
And just the 3rd foul on Cushing.
You know, at the next levels as well, that basketball could have got advanced to half court. However, in high school, they don't do that.
So now it's time to see what you can do time.
Same results, 3 in a row.
She still has to make another one. Just to make a 3-point game.
2-point game. Oh.
Johnson went for the rebound and couldn't get a handle on it.
No timeouts.
Shepard to inbound, finds Rain, out to Shepard.
Now that may
Shepard
be a
can win
good
it
foul.
here.
However, she gets 2 shots here.
Asia Shepard, 19 of 30, 63%. If she makes both, Como will win this. And now the door's open.
That's 2. You know, I figured that would be a good opportunity, but Shepard actually had 2 shots. You may have to rush that. 3-point game.
South can tie it. Who will take the
Cushing?
3? Jump ball, Como with the arrow. Jade Hill was looking for the kick out, and in all likelihood, that will give Como another Twin Cities win, although they still have to get the inbound pass in.
I wonder if she was looking for the kick out or was she looking
It
to
looked that
go
way
up
from
with
up
that?
here. Cushing was set up in the corner. I thought Jade
Yeah, I thought
was
she
going
would
to
have
go
given
to
it
her.
to her before then. That's it.
Van Nett has it. And
That's
they will
it.
let time expire. Como hangs on
That's
for their third
Great
Twin
win.
Cities win. 66-63 the final. They left the door open for South, but some strong defense, much like the Cromwell game on Tuesday, came up clutch for the Cougars. And they will be an underdog in Section 4-3A, but they did get the win over Matamidi, and there are a few teams who could get out of there and into the state tournament. Another nail biter, though, for the Cougars, and I guess if you're Alexis Gray Lawson and crew, you wouldn't want it any other way at these Twin Cities games.
Yeah, that was a great win for Como Park. Way to pull it down. Free throws are very important. They hit their last, 5 out of 6 free throws. Great job.
Van Nett, the high score with 27. It was not the prettiest of games, but they came up with huge stops when they needed them most. We'll try to get a word with some of the Como players before we wrap things up. This is the 2017 Twin Cities Girls Championship. The Como Park Cougars win their third straight, 66-63. And joining me are Elena Jones and Michaela Van Nett. How does 3 Twin Cities games in a row sound?
It feels really good.
You had to scrap this one out, and that's been the mantra with these Twin Cities appearances from Como Park. Every game close down to the wire, and so how did you pull this one out?
We just played as a team, played together, made sure everybody got the ball equally, and it helped us win.
Elena is at a loss for words on how you're able to pull that one out. So you had a rough game, I guess, down on the floor, but toward the end you got some big defensive stops. You got the jump ball. So how do you stay so composed in crunch time?
I don't know, you just got to keep getting out of your head and just play through it.
And from your perspective, Michaela, how did you push through?
I just pushed the ball, pretty much.
Arian Kelly went on a big run that gave South the lead, and then you push back and hang on to it. So how did you respond after Kelly's run? And I guess how has that adversity or going through it so many times help you pull out a tough game like this?
Well, basically just limiting her touches in the middle because the middle's her shot. So if we just limited that, then that took that away, and that's about it.
What does it mean for you? Because you've been a part of all 3 Como Park teams to win this game. What does it mean for you where each year you played a big role in helping them get this win?
It means a lot to me, and I'm proud of myself and my teammates.
Section play now coming up. You get the 2 seed, Matamidi the 1. How does this game help you get ready for that? And what do you expect in Section 4-3A this year?
I expect a lot. I think we can win our section and eventually make it to state, and this helps us get ready for the next game. So.
And what would you make of the depth of this team? As I think I asked you this on Tuesday, how the leadership would change without Andrea, and we see a great effort out of you and Elena. Rain hit a couple of free throws, and Autumn Tucker didn't have a great game today, but she's become a vital part to this program.
Well, it's just getting in the gym together, playing together, building chemistry so that we know how to play each other and where to find each other, and that's about it.
And Elena, what's your attitude now as you get ready to start section play as the 2 seed and maybe a bit of an underdog, but having a lot of experience on your side?
I'm just ready to push through it. I'm just ready to tell everyone Como is a threat.
And you want to say hi to anybody? I know we gave you that chance on Tuesday. Anyone you left out?
No.
You got everyone the last time. What about you, Michaela?
Just my friends and family.
Well, congrats on another scrappy win in the Twin Cities game, and we'll see if you can work your way back into state.
Thank you.
Michaela Van Nett and Elena Jones. That wraps up the girls' portion of our high school basketball coverage this season. For our entire crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching.